as you're kind of getting started with this, how did you begin to leverage that experience? And I guess you can kind of walk us back to how did you get working with Puma, Reebok, Wolf and Shepherd, these different companies you've worked with? How did you get involved with them from the first place? How did you go from drawing, I guess, to actually working with these companies? And then you could maybe wind in that experience to how you approach designing for Flux.
Yeah. I'm going to try and be as concise as possible. um, I studied design in college. I really was originally very curious about studying industrial design, which is what most of my contemporaries in footwear design went through. But I just didn't have peace about any of the schools that I was looking at to do that at. And so I ended up at a small liberal arts college north of Boston and studied basically art and graphic design, which it was kind of a broad degree. And it was a liberal arts college. So you're learning not just like how to be a really proficient designer, but you're also learning how to think about things more broadly, which I think has probably helped a lot in kind of like who I've become as an entrepreneur. And that was one of the things early on that people said as I was looking at some of these art schools. One guy in particular who I was going to play soccer at this art school, and I thought that's what I was going to do. And he was like, dude, after I spent like the weekend there, he goes, if you want to do something other than just be an artist, like, I don't think this school's for you. Because I was probably going off on like all the whatever ideas I had in my head at the time as a senior in high school. And he could see like, dude, you need something broader than this. And so, and in kind of a weird turn of events, I just like totally like wrote off, I'm never going to design shoes. Cause I thought, well, I've just chosen a different road. Yeah. And, studied graphic design, had a great teacher. I learned the programs and learned like that. I don't know. I just had enough of a passion still for like fashion and sort of like physical design. And I ended up getting an internship at Puma. And they just, I don't know if they just like, honestly, it felt like a gift. It really was a gift. That gave me the understanding, at least, to then go on and get an apprenticeship at Reebok. They also had a really good program, so very dedicated.
To pause
program.
you, when you were at Puma, as you kind of, because it seemed like you were teeter-tottering on still pursuing this footwear and design, I guess, endeavor. And then when you got this opportunity at Puma, after a month or two working there, was there like a click where you were like, this is what I want to do? Or
dude, the first day I walked in there and I was like the day I went in, actually I bombed my first interview there, by the way, because I was so excited and I think I was like too eager, you know. I don't know if like the people who interviewed me would say that was what ultimately why they didn't give me the first internship, but like I was like, holy shit, this place is amazing. There's shoes everywhere. There's so much creativity here. The possibilities are endless. Like it was like everything inside of me lit up. And so that I think it was like walking in for the interview, and then I like had to deal with the fact that I got rejected, and then they came back and offered me it. Like literally like a month or two later, they're like, hey, you applied for this internship, and I was like, yeah, I got rejected from it. And they're like, no, we actually
did want you.
I ended up on a different team. I had a great mentor there, and it totally all worked out. And then Reebok was another one of these things where I actually found out from that college roommate. He was like, when we were trying to, we were thinking about this company we wanted to start. I guess his uncle had worked at Reebok, because it's there in Massachusetts, and so he mentioned like, hey, they've got this really great program. You should apply. I applied, got so lucky. Like I was not as good as any of the people that I was apprenticing with, like there was like 6 of us footwear design interns or apprentices. And, of that group, I'm pretty sure I was the only one who got hired on afterwards. And it wasn't because I was a great designer or had all of the like technical proficiencies. I just worked my ass off and really wanted it.
Yeah.
Still looking back, I don't know if I have words for why I wanted it so bad, but it just lit me up, and still does. Like it's
Well,
my
that'll
favorite
carry
part of my
people a lot
job.
further. I mean, some people have talent and excitement, but if things don't go their way or they struggle or, they may not be as eager to work with the team or this or that, then they're going to fall more flat versus someone who's just so passionate. Passion's going to beat talent, 9 times out of 10. I feel like as long as there's some talent to go with
You
it.
can learn. You
or
can
skill to go
learn
with
these
it.
things, and
Yeah.
like that's what I did. I mean, when I was at Reebok, and one of the things that has served me so well since then is like I spent my time down in the sample room with the guys who were like cutting the patterns, who had been there for like 40 years in their career and had been with Reebok since, literally for 40 years. And they were like, yeah, this is how you do this. That's why that can't work. Like I would like get super granular about like any idea that I had and pull anything I could out of them because it was just so fascinating for me.